welcome to Jagee's Cookbook. Well, I'm in a British mood today, and that's why I'm, dressed up like this. I'm dressed for an afternoon tea. And yes, we all know that the traditional afternoon British tea is very, very, very famous, very popular too. And well, how it came about was before the 18th century, Britain usually had just breakfast and dinner as their main meals. Lunch was very meager, and they used to have a big gap between breakfast and dinner, which was huge. Breakfast was huge and dinner was very huge. Now, during the 18th century, around 1840, there was the Duchess of Bedford, Anna Maria. What she did was she had a sinking feeling during the late afternoon. And what happened was she introduced the afternoon tea, the concept of the afternoon tea, to Britain. What she did was she asked her chefs to make pastries, small sandwiches, scones, small baked items, so that she could enjoy it with her tea, which was introduced very recently at that time. She really, really enjoyed it, and it made her go on full till dinner time. And this became, well, a sort of tradition, because she actually invited her friends and had tea together, and they used to sit and chat and eat these things and also have their tea. Now, this became a ritual in Britain, and everyone in Britain followed this. And yes, that gave rise to the afternoon tea. Very, very popular. Now, nowadays, the afternoon tea is very, very, it's not that much popular in modern Britain. They usually settle with tea, a biscuit or cake or something. But if you go to very, very regal restaurants there, they still celebrate the afternoon tea. If you at all get any chance to stop by Britain, then you have to really, really enjoy. Just grab the chance to really, really enjoy the afternoon tea. Now, why I said this was scones are a quintessential part of the afternoon tea. I have, in my previous episodes, showed you the very British scones, the actual scones. This time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a variation with wholemeal cinnamon scones, which are really, really easy to make and really, really British. Very, very tasty, eaten with clotted cream and jam. Yes, very decadent. But once in a while, I don't think it's going to make a difference. So yes, my wholemeal cinnamon scones are on the way, this time on Jagee's Cookbook. You wait. So for my wholemeal cinnamon scones, what we have to do is we have to sieve the dry ingredients. Okay, so we've got 2 cups of wholemeal flour, wholemeal. Okay, just put it in the sieve, and 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, a little bit of salt, and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Very easy. It's very delicious too. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So in this, we have 2 cups of wholemeal flour, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon powder, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and a pinch of salt. What we do to this is just sieve it together. Now, we do this so that it gets uniformly dispersed through the whole ingredients. So that it rises evenly. Okay, that's done. What we do here is we transfer this into a bowl, back into the bowl, carefully. It's done with. So all our dry ingredients is mixed together and sieved together. What we do here is we add around 50 to 100 grams, depending upon what you really like. I usually put 50 to 75 grams of brown sugar. If you don't have brown sugar, don't fret, darlings. All you have to do is put white sugar, okay? I just put this because I just wanted that caramelized taste for it. So this is actually more than 50 to 75. I've just left some for topping, for the topping, okay? Now what I do here is, you have to see what I do. Around 50 grams of sultanas, okay? In that goes. And what I do here is just mix it with my hands, okay? Very lightly. Now, in scones, what you have to do is the mixing should be very light. Your hands should do it very light. You shouldn't do it very heavily because otherwise you'll get heavy scones. Now here I've got 50 grams of chilled butter. It's cut into cubes so it makes it easier. Unsalted butter. And what I have to do here is with the pads of your hands, just rub it along, rub the butter into the dry ingredients, okay? So that finally you get breadcrumb-like mixture. It's just like making our traditional putta. The way we do it, yes, it's the same way. So keep on going like this. Very easy, very simple, very, very pleasurable too, because the softness of the butter is really lovely in your hands. And also the aroma, the beautiful cinnamon and the wholemeal, really very exciting. Okay, I always say, please, please do enjoy what you do while you're cooking, because it does make a difference. Keep on doing it with fluttering movements. Just flutter your hands. Don't knead it like a chapati dough. Do it with fluttering motions. And try to get air into the dough mixture. So when you just lift it up with your fingers, you're actually allowing, or you're actually helping air to get into the mixture. Now you can finally see the breadcrumb-like mixture. Okay, it's done. Now what I'm going to do is wash my hands. Wait. Now once that is over, okay, what I have to do is we have to actually beat one egg with a little bit of milk. Okay, and then just a bit of milk and just whisk it in. Now we have to pour, okay, this so that it just holds together. We don't need it you don't need it into a stiff dough. It should be a very, very loose dough. So it should be should just hold the shape. I'll show you exactly what I mean. Just pour a bit first. Just mix it. I'll just my hands. Just let it all come together so that it just holds shape. Now we just tip it onto a work surface, a clean work surface. Now this work surface is really clean, so don't have to worry about it. Just tip it over. And with both hands, just bring it together, okay? Don't knead it. Don't knead it, because if you do, it won't work. It'll just become very hard scones. So what you have to do is very, very simply just bring the dough together. If you think you need a bit more milk, just add a little more, not too much, a little more. Okay. So that, see, it's just holding its shape. It's not too loose and it's not too hard. Make sure it's just come together very well and just press it on lightly. Do not knead it. Don't treat it as a chapati dough. It's not a chapati dough, it's a scone dough, which needs to be handled very, very, very lightly, like a baby. Just press it like this. Need to wash my hands once more. Now, what you have to do next is, we have to prepare the oven pan, okay, to put the scones in. So what we do here is, I have taken again the grill off the oven, and I've actually put the butter paper onto it and spread it out, okay, so that it is a good pan for the scones to rise up in. What I do is just, with some butter, I just grease it so that it doesn't stick. Now, what I do is preheat the oven. Now, the scones, we have to always remember that you have to bake scones in a either a very hot or hot oven. So it's around 220 degrees is the best thing. So you have to preheat your oven. Once your oven is preheated for 10 minutes, then you can prepare your things. What we do the next day, it's a simple thing. We've prepared our baking sheet. The next thing we do is take a small glass, okay, or a small beaker, anything which has a very, very narrow circumference. It shouldn't be wide, and it should be tall, okay? And just press it on. Now, my scones are all ready, all very well arranged. What I have to do is, now remember the egg wash, the egg and the milk, okay? The rest of it, I'm just going to glaze it for this beautiful golden effect. Now, it's not necessary. You can do it with just egg or just milk, but I have the leftover of this, and it'll give you a beautiful, beautiful golden color. Always make sure your baking sheet is well greased. Otherwise, the scones will stick to the bottom and you'll find it very hard to take it out. Once again, I'm telling you not to treat it like a chapati dough and really apply pressure. Don't do that. These are very light, quick breads. So all you need is just to gather all of them together, press it onto the baking sheet and put it in the oven. Do not try to make too much shape out of it, okay? Because that's very tempting. Now, what I'm going to do for an extra treat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle some brown sugar on it. If you don't have brown sugar, you can just use white sugar. But the brown sugar gives you that toffee-like taste. Lovely. Just on top of these lovely darlings. So this is spread well. Now all you have to do is keep it in a 220 degrees oven. Make sure it's very hot because these have to rise. and after 10 to 15 minutes, my very British scones are going to be ready. You wait. Yep, my scones are ready. It's ready around 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, that's the approximate time. Wait. Yes, they're ready. Just off the oven. I'll take these darlings out. Golden brown, just like I wanted. Great. Now what I have to do is transfer this. You have to eat, now scones, there's one thing. You have to eat scones that very day. Don't keep it for the next day. I mean, it's not very hard to keep it. I mean, it's that tasty. So do finish it off that day itself, okay? These are done. I need thing just to take it out. Ooh, hot. Serve it hot, with cream. That's how the English do. With cream and jam, strawberry, any strawberry or cherry preserve, and tea, hot tea. Well, this measurement, what I said, will actually make 8 scones. Okay, it depends upon the size of the scones too. If they're my size, there would be 8 waiting to be eaten. So yes, my scones are ready. Now the way you eat these scones, I just demonstrate how you actually eat these scones. First of all, you take a scone and cut it in between and just put some cream and some jam. Those of you who are looking out for the calories, don't even look here. It's really decadent. Okay, this is how you actually eat it. You can actually put it together, sandwich, and have a bite.